So at this point, are all your strategies automated?
At this point, like before or like right now? They've been automated for years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So recently, like before I had to go and hire programmers. So if we can go back 20 years, I was getting in touch with individual programmers, mathematicians from different top universities in the States.
Okay.
And they would know somebody, and I would get together with them, either bring them into where I was living at the time or meet them somewhere to go over their credentials and try to get them to help build something. So recently I discovered this company called Shark Indicators.
Okay.
Now they make a piece of software. They have two pieces to the software. One is called Bloodhound, the other one's called Blackbird. Don't know why they're called that, but good for them. But the important thing is the Bloodhound piece of software, it allows you to test your theories, test your strategies. So let's say everybody has like a strategy that they want to follow in the markets or that they do in the markets. So let's say buy the S&P E-mini above when the price closes above the 100 period moving average.
Okay.
Right? Hold that instrument for 20 points or 1%. When it goes up 20 points or 1%, sell. So, and let's say we do the opposite for when it goes down and we want to short it. Okay. So if the price of the S&P closes below the 100 period moving average, then sell it short on close and hold that position for a 20-point profit.
Okay.
You can put that in, and let's say you follow any type of indicator you can think of or any type of number rule you can think of. If you can think of the rule, by just clicking the button, you don't need to know programming, you don't have to be a programmer. You can put that in. It took me about an hour and a half to learn it. That was it.
Wow.
Yeah. And so something that would have taken me a couple $1,000s and hiring a programmer to do a couple years ago, now I took lessons on it for about an hour, 2 hours, and I'm off to the races creating strategies that worked just like other quant strategies that I had built by software programmers. The other part of the software is an advanced trade management system. So if you wanted to buy for you, sell for you, put in a trailing stop, it'll trail for you, put in a hard stop, and you can be as sophisticated as you want or as unsophisticated and just put in simple stops. But I think the software is revolutionary if you learn how to use it, and it's for individual traders. The thing is that it works for Ninja Trader, which is a software program that a lot of futures traders use, but it's all over the world. So, but I think I've been using that, and it's fantastic.
And this is only for futures trading. You can't do this for, let's say, options, stocks.
If you can trade it on Ninja Trader, I believe that you can program in the buys and sells for that as well.
Oh wow!
Not 100% sure, but you can look it up. They've got all kinds of videos and all that, both on YouTube and on their website. I think I've discovered that, and I think it's fantastic.
I know you said it took you an hour to learn everything, but you're a very smart guy. I think an average person like me, I would need like maybe a couple of days to learn it, but I'll check them out.
I think for what it does, it's more than worth it to take the advantage and take the time and learn it. And seriously, I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer when it comes to, I understand programming, I understand working with programmers and that sort of thing, but I'm not a programmer by trade.
Oh, yeah. So what's your actual like formal education?
Formal education is undergrad in economics.
Economics.
Yeah, did my undergrad and played football at Acadia University at Nova Scotia. Shout out to Acadia Axman. And then and I somehow got into University of Waterloo. And went there for a semester and played football there. And so I was around really, really smart people for a year. At Waterloo. Brilliant bunch of people from that university. Yeah.
Oh my God. Everyone from there is so smart, especially engineers.
Incredibly. I remember my first day in class looking around going, if you don't know who the dumbest person in the room is, it's probably you.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is so true.
So that was evident right away. But I'm probably playing down a little bit. But I think if you take the time, like when it comes to trading, I believe that, you should be professional about it.
Of course.
And that's one of my favorite quotes that I read recently was by a guy by the name of DJ Shipley. He's a former Navy SEAL Team 6 dev crew operator.
Oh, okay.
And he put out this quote a couple months ago or a couple weeks ago, and it's about being a pro, and it's so analogous to trading. Do your work, do your studying, learn, like do your studying, find somebody where you can like go to school, basically. You can do everything online. And then from that point, get a coach. It's I was hearing some guys saying that you can read a book about golfing, and you go out and golf doesn't mean you can golf. But if you read the book, you understand some of the fundamentals. But then if you get somebody you can learn from and say, hey, that's why you're not doing it, and they can correct your swing. And it's the same thing with this. Be a pro at what you're doing. Put the time in, do the learning, do the practicing, practice hard, do deep practice. There's another book that I read that was just brilliant, The Talent Code, and it talks a lot about deep practice and doing slow practice and then getting better and better, and then layering on and scaffolding up your learning, and then going from there. When you're ready, then getting in and then jump into the waters. And I think that's the way to do it. And I think a lot of people will be way more successful in this because the statistics are brutal. If they're right, they're brutal. So I think doing the work and doing the studying is imperative.
So how would you describe your strategy? Like one of the strategies that's automated, how would you describe it at a high level? Explain it to our audience. A
high level or at a very easy and simple level? Which one would you like?
Okay, a very easy simple level.
So one of the things that I've found in doing all the research and working with different companies and different money managers, simple is best. Simple works. Now, there are some companies that are phenomenally complex, that run their trading strategies phenomenally complex. I really gravitated towards simple.
Okay.
And I would say that, all right, so we know that when you're trading, we know that trend following works sometimes. We know that breakout momentum trading works sometimes. We know that relative strength with breakouts and momentum works sometimes. We know that also on the opposite side, that breakdowns work and you can really catch, a move down.
Yes.
So all these things work. The problem for everybody is that none of them work all the time. Right?
Yep.
So I took a look at that and said, okay, once again, are there patterns to this? I believe there are. Can we prove there's patterns? Yes. How? Using statistics by taking a look at the movement of price. And when you get the statistics, from there we get probabilities. Now, when you take the information from the research that you do, can you build a system around that? Well, you just test it. So how would I describe my system? Probably have to edit some of this. So what I did was I combined a trending system with a breakout system. So prices trend. And we know that prices, say, move on a monthly basis. NASDAQ stocks on a monthly basis range 10% up, 10% down. Now, they don't always just come back to the mean. Sometimes they break out and they go for a run. They go to the moon. So when they do, I created a system that buys the trend. Where's the trend? Identify the trends above a 50 period, 100 period, and a 200 period moving average, right?
Okay.
So it would buy a little bit above a 50, a little bit above 70, a little bit above 100, and it'll take a big chunk at 200 period moving average. Now, we know that now the expectation of move might be 10, 15, 20%, depending on that instrument. Now, if it starts coming back down, well, that's a reversion to the mean trade. So the system will short that trade. It'll take the profit and short it because it doesn't think that it's going to go to the moon.
Right.
Now, what happens if it's wrong and it goes and starts going to the moon at that point, and becomes a breakout trade or a momentum trade. It identifies it pretty much right away and says, I'm wrong with no emotion. Now let's get back on that trend trade and go with it.
Oh,
Okay?
I see.
And then it does the same thing to the bottom. So or on a short trade. So it's a trend system that becomes a breakout system, that becomes a reversion to the mean system, which becomes a breakdown system, and a shorting system, which becomes now a total breakdown if it starts going, if the market starts puking like it did, a couple months ago.
Okay.
So it gets in on a trade and it fails fast. And it's a very simple system using indicators and levels that everybody that's watching here can use as well. We just happen to automate it. So it takes it. I have the other thing that I do that's different. So my strategy that's different is I do what's called stacking trades.
Stacking.
Okay. So I trade on a 30-second bar.
30-second bar?
30-second bar.
Okay.
So one is trading on a 30-second bar, and it's looking for these moves in the market.
Okay.
Another one is trading on a 5-minute bar, and it's looking for movements in the market. Another one is trading on a 60-minute, another one on a 240-minute, and another one on a 480-minute, and another one on a daily. So the systems are watching each one of these time intervals on individual instruments on a real-time basis, and when it hits the buy point, trading's really simple. And when you think about it, we want a good entry, a good exit.
Yeah.
We want to get in, get out, get paid.
Yes.
So why do I use all these different time intervals? So if you and I were playing, do you follow any sports at all or anything like that? No sports?
Not really.
Okay. So let's say we were playing American football or Canadian football.
Okay. I can understand football.
Okay. So football has 2 halves and it has 4 quarters.
Yes.
Okay. Each one of them are 15 minutes long. So if we can play that game over a 60-minute period and win and make money, what if somebody came and said, hey, we can shrink this game and now we can play a 30-minute game and you can make money.
Okay.
What happens if we can play a 15-minute or a 5-minute game and we can make money? And you can be good at each one of those time intervals.
Oh, so all these intervals are separate trades?
Correct.
Oh, I see.
One's not following the other. They're all working independently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because one of the systems that I built,
I get it now. I get it more now. Thank you.
So if one system, it takes maybe 1 or 2 trades a day based on a very short time period. But when it hits that, we've done the research and we know that whenever it hits that entry point, that get in point, the get out point is only a couple points away. It happens twice a day, like clockwork, but you have to do the research. You have to do the homework. You have to be a pro, right? You have to do the work, do the research, and test it. And this thing does 2 trades a day. And depending on what it's right. It's got a very high win rate. And if it's wrong, it either stops out quite quickly or the reversal takes precedent over a stop, so it doesn't need stops. The reversal is the stop. So that works on a 30-second bar. Another one that works on, once again, a 5 or 6 or 7-minute bar. And you can run those concurrently. A couple days ago, a lot of people didn't catch the move from the NASDAQ going from 13.5 up to almost 14,000 today, all right? The system caught it because it's always looking. It's not looking around.
Looking at different time frames
too. Over going, hey.
So does that mean you can have, let's say, all these different time frames, 5 different trades?
Yes.
Some will take profit sooner than the other, depending on candles.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So if you ask my kids, because I have a setup in the house for years, and if you ask my kids, the one thing that it just always ringing in their head is order filled, stop filled, order filled.
Oh.
Yeah, all day.
Interesting.
And sometimes all night as well, depending on what we're trading.
Oh.
Yeah.
And you would do this on different instruments, not just futures. Do you do this on stocks or just
stocks, futures?
Oh.
Yeah, everything. If it moves, so the 3 things we look for, 3 things you want in a good trade. Obviously, is liquidity. That goes without saying. Next thing is trend persistence, okay, and range. So if you can identify something that has trend persistence. That trend persistence, if we're a little, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids people, that trend to them might be this big. Now, other people, a trend might mean, we're looking for a couple month trend, a couple hour trend, a couple minute trend. So all we're looking for is trend persistence that we can identify with range that is worth it to take the money out, that we identify the downside risk to it. And so if we know what the downside risk is, if we're wrong, how many times we need to be right. Like you supply, one of the things you supply is the risk-reward ratio for your followers. It's fantastic. And we actually use that in some of the research that we do. And we identify that, and that's how we build. So when we get those things, all this information put together, I build what are called models. So we have a fast trading model for the Qs, a fast trading model for the NQ, which is a NASDAQ E-mini. We have a fast trading model for oil. We have a fast trading model for gold, a fast trading model for the S&P 500. And so then we have all these time intervals that we trade on, and we stack them. So the machine won't miss that long-term trade where you can make the really big money.
So you just watched a highlights reel. Make sure to learn from the full interview video over here. And if you enjoy these highlight clips, there are many more profitable lessons that you can learn for free from these experienced traders. Check this playlist right here.